And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the
classic. Time. Here we go. I'm back. It's been a hot minute. I know. I haven't filmed since. I definitely don't think I've filmed on this channel before Christmas. Well, actually, was it? I think it was just after Christmas, maybe. I don't remember now. That's how long it's been since I filmed. I don't even remember when my last video was. Great. But I'm back, and I had to make, for my first video back, I had to make a response to Mazzy's contest. He's doing what he's calling a WhackaMole contest to celebrate the 50th edition of his WhackaMole. WhackaMole, for those who don't know or aren't familiar, it's where he randomly picks out some albums from his collection and he talks about them. And when he says randomly, you don't look, and it literally means that. So you reach your hand behind and you pick something out at random from your collection and you talk about it. It's a great way to reconnect yourself with some older records that maybe you haven't listened to for a while, or to find out about some records that you may have forgot that you had, or something like that. I love watching these. I love discovering new music through these whack-a-moles. So of course, I had to jump on this bandwagon and kind of do this myself. Mazzy, thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna pick out 5 at random from my personal collection. What I'm gonna do is pick from the bottom, because this is where my A to Z live. On top, that's all genre based, but that's all the music that I not only tend to play more, but tend to play out as well sometimes when I'm at when I'm not in clubs or anything like that. So it's all hip hop, soul, funk, reggae. There's a little bit of jazz and blues up there, and some world music as well, but it's mainly hip hop and soul up on the top here. So I am picking from underneath, just so I can be fair, make it a bit more random. So with that said, I'm 2 minutes in and we still ain't picked out any records, so let's do this randomly. Hopefully I can pick some without looking. I'm going to reach right back in there so we can pick out something. I'm going to try not to look at them. I'll probably end up seeing them at some point anyway. Where am I going? This way. Second one along. It's a bit more difficult for me because I have them like this, so I have to constantly flip them forward. But I don't mind, because it's like having your own personal record store. Let's move on to the next one. I did see that, but it doesn't matter. Oh, I'm going to try not to go too far back in this one. There we go, got one. And one more, I think, from here again. This second one along. Right. Okay, this is exciting. I'll go in order of in reverse, I think, of how I picked them out. So there, let's go. Kicking it off. Big Bam Boom, Hall & Oates. The album that does have, well, I could tell you, but it doesn't say on the album jacket, which is helpful. I believe this is the one without a touch on it. Yes, it is. And Possession Obsession. But again, big Hall & Oates fan. But I didn't pick this up for Out of Touch, because weirdly enough, I'm not that big of a fan of that song as some people are. I picked it up for the rest of the album. and it's a good listen actually. Hall & Oates, I do like them quite a bit, and I kind of my love for their music was kind of replenished for the movie Ready Player One, because there's a song, while it's not on this album, there's a song in that soundtrack that's used, and it's from this group. Most of these movies that I'm checking out nowadays have AE soundtracks or soundtracks like that, so it's definitely worth checking it out. But yeah, Hall & Oates, Big Bam Boom. Big Bam Boom. Great album. 1984, I believe. But yeah, nice pickup. This artist always pops up in my videos somehow, and I kind of predicted this to happen, but yeah, it's Stevie Wonder's Where I'm Coming From. This album, I have not listened to in a while. I must admit, this is probably the Stevie album I pull to listen to the least. But there's not many artists I go out of my way to try and complete the discography, but Stevie's one of them, particularly because he is my favorite artist. But yeah, this album's got Do Yourself a Favor, If You Really Love Me, and Sunshine in Their Eyes. If you want 3 songs from this album to listen to, they're probably the 3 standouts for me, so definitely check that out. Some Prince here. Not the biggest fan of this album, but there were a couple of songs on here that really, wowed me. And this does have the outer thing on the inside, because somebody's obviously ripped it off. What is the big track on here? Is it Paisley Park? It's called Paisley Park, Raspberry Beret, Around the World in a Day, which is also the title of the album. But this is to what I remember, I didn't enjoy this album as much as I wanted to. I remember really loving Purple Rain and just thinking, oh, Prince, let's get some more Prince. And I didn't like this one as much, which was really strange to me, but just had to, it'll be nice to give that album another listen, go back, revisit it, but I'm not holding my breath or anything. Led Zeppelin, self-titled debut album. The album that didn't really do too much for him. Even here in the UK, this album wasn't that popular, I don't think, when it came out. But this album, I've told the story multiple times, but I bought this when I was still kind of expanding my taste beyond like rap and hip-hop. And I'd already discovered bits of jazz, soul music. I'd started to fall in love with funk, reggae I was getting into, but classic rock, and particularly like obvious classic rock like Led Zeppelin, I was trying to stay clear from. And then I bought this just on a whim because I liked the cover. And I put the needle down on side 1, heard the intro to Good Times, Bad Times, and my mind was blown away by this. This is easily an album that I will defend any day of the week. This is one album I wish I had an OG copy of, but there is Led Zeppelin's first album, which I assume everybody here knows. Last album, because we were told to pick 5. I picked out 5. This is the last one I'm going to show you. This is Backless by Eric Clapton. Another one that I have not listened to in a long time. And I can tell you how long it's been because I don't remember what the standout tracks on this album were for me. That's how long it's been. Yeah, genuinely no idea. Like, do not remember any of the tracks from this album, but gives me an excuse to go back and revisit it, right? Anyway, that's going to do it. We're almost at 10 minutes, so I'm going to try and cut this off there. Mazzy, thanks for hosting this contest, pal. Here's my support to your channel, and I will hope to see you all again very, very soon. But for now, I'm going to sign out. Peace.